I've been a certified nutritionist and personal trainer for over 5 years now, and in that time I've helped well over 100 guys with their health, with their fitness, with their nutrition, with their diet, and even with their mental health. But I want to preface this video by telling you that I am not an expert in gut health, brain health, or on the link between the two. In fact, I think it's quite a nuanced topic, and even the aforementioned experts in this area will probably tell you that they don't even know too much about it, because the brain and the gut are quite enigmatic amongst even the scientific community these days. We still don't know too much about either of them. And I think the science will advance quite quickly in the next few years. But what is really interesting is something that's come out, well, as far as I'm aware, relatively recently, at least in the mainstream media. And that is that 90%, 90 to 95%, I should say, of your serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone, is produced in the gut. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear serotonin and I hear feel-good, I want to have as much as that going through my bloodstream as possible. And it's quite interesting to think that if it's produced by your gut, the amount you produce is going to be impacted by the health of your gut. So you could have two people, both of them are having, 90 to 95% of their serotonin being produced in their gut. But if one person's got a healthy gut and one person's got an unhealthy gut, the person with the healthy gut could be producing twice as much serotonin as the other person. And if you feel twice as good as you do right now, imagine what you could get done. Imagine how much better you would feel. And what happens when you feel good? You've got more drive, you've got more energy, you've got more attraction, more magnetism. And that's really, I think, one of the biggest missions of my life, is to just get to a place where I'm like that, where I'm feeling abundant and magnetic and energetic all of the time. How amazing would that be? Now, of course, it sounds quite utopic and I'll probably never get there, and that's absolutely fine. But if I can learn more about gut health and hopefully educate you guys a little bit today about gut health and tweak my diet so that I have a healthier gut and produce more serotonin, everyone's laughing, everyone's winning, right? So let's get into it. So, as I said right at the beginning, I am not claiming to be an expert in gut health, brain health, or the link between the two. So I will be reading some notes throughout this video. So you see me looking down. I'm not shy about admitting that I'm not an expert on this, and I want to make sure I'm getting it right. That being said, if there are any experts out there, experts in these fields who, watch this video by whatever chance, and they want to critique, comment, add, educate, change, fact check, whatever it might be, please, I welcome that, because I don't want to be preaching something that's completely wrong or complete BS. If I'm getting something wrong, it's not because I'm trying to sell anybody anything or lead people down a garden path. I am literally just speaking from my own opinion here. So let's get into it. So as I said, serotonin is a chemical that's produced in your brain, in your gut, but primarily in your gut. And it helps regulate your mood, your happiness, and most interestingly to me, your anxiety levels. I've always been a relatively anxious person. I have a relatively high CAR, which is cortisol awakening response. And I've always been interested into why I've had that. I've done another video about this, about how I used to see it as a weakness, and now I actually see it as a superpower, because it enables me to wake up and get a lot done first thing in the morning, which a lot of people find very difficult because they're sort of slow risers, whereas I'm not. But I am interested because of the fact that, the link between brain and gut health and serotonin production, it definitely interests me. Why is serotonin important? Well, I think we've kind of already covered this. It's so important for your health, for your happiness overall, because if you're healthy and happy, you're going to get more done. But what's interesting is the other stuff that it also has an impact on regulating, and that is everything from your mood, your hunger, your appetite, your digestion, and even your sleep. So it's really interesting to see how impactful levels of serotonin in your blood flow, in your bloodstream, can be on you and your health. So like I say, it's linked to gut health, right? 90%, guys, of your body's serotonin is produced in your gut, where it helps to control intestinal movements. Now, I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. Imagine then if you've got the contrast of two people. One's got a healthy gut, one has an unhealthy gut. Imagine the difference in production of serotonin and the impact that would then have on a compound effect over a period of time on that person's ability to get up, to do stuff, to do hard stuff. Not talking easy stuff. Anybody can sit on the sofa and watch Netflix. Not everybody can get up and push themselves in the gym, or stand on a stage and do public speaking, or do a presentation to 10 people and their senior managers in their company, or whatever else it might be, or ask out that girl on a date. The people who are doing this stuff are the people who've got the drive, they've got the motivation, they've got the energy, they've got the magnetism. And if you can raise your serotonin levels by changing your diet, it feels like a pretty obvious, easy choice to me to make, right? So what can people do? Well, it's pretty straightforward, which is the good news. It doesn't sound, from what I'm reading, that you don't need any sort of advanced supplements or anything like that. And a lot of you might already be doing it, which is why I'm saying it's probably just a case of making some small tweaks and being just at a very basic level, guys, just being aware of this. Like for me, even when like a year ago, when I first heard this stuff, I wasn't aware. And if I'm not aware of it, I can't even manage it. Whereas at least now, if I have some awareness around it, I can over time get more and more educated about it, and hopefully educate you guys a little bit today about it, or at least pique your interest so you can go off and listen and watch, videos done by people who are experts on this stuff, and we can all grow and get better together, right? That to me is really one of the primary benefits, or sorry, I should say goals of my channel and what I'm doing here. But the foods that you want to be focusing on, like I say, it's nothing too advanced, guys. Yogurt, kefir, tempeh, kimchi, high fiber foods, lean proteins, healthy fats. It's all out there. It's all readily available. And none of it's, super scientific or super hard to get hold of. So listen, I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm not going to sit here and fluff it out because honestly, I've kind of said everything I wanted to say. This is the first video I've done on gut health, the link between our brain and our gut health. I think it's going to be a fascinating area to pay attention to in the next few years with the introduction of AI and how that's positively impacting the scientific community and just accelerating, speeding up all of the research that those guys can do. I think it's going to be amazing. And in the next 5 years, I think we're going to look at this very differently. Right now, it's a very personal topic to me because right now, there's so many people who are on antidepressants, medication that, in an ideal world, what they're really trying to do is, they're called SSRIs, which is, effectively, it's to do with serotonin. It's trying to uptake the amount of serotonin in your system. What they're also probably doing, and again, I don't know this for sure, but I can speak from personal experience because I've been on SSRIs before, is they are probably messing up your gut health, which in a weird way is effectively then making you reliant on these drugs. Now again, I'm not sitting here saying I can prove that. I'm just telling you my own personal experience. And trust me when I say this, I felt absolutely awful on SSRIs. I've done another video on this, but it was almost like the world was like, oh, you think you're depressed? We'll show you depression. Take these little tiny Skittles. And they're tiny little pills. For anyone who hasn't seen it, like an SSRI, it's like this. And I was on the lowest dose and it messed me up, man. Luckily, I had the foresight to kind of come off it after 4 months. And within about a week, the easiest way to describe it is I felt 16 again. I was just driven, hungry for more. I was horny as hell, I'll be honest with you. I just felt great. And that lasted a long, long time before I sort of settled back down to a baseline. But then when I settled back down to that baseline, I was grateful because I knew that actually there was a lot lower I could go. And a lot of that was to do with this. But yeah, higher food and fiber, higher protein, lean proteins, foods high in omega-3 fatty acids. What we've got written down here: flax seeds, chia seeds, fatty fish. This is all the stuff that's available, guys. It's probably just that you're not getting enough of it in your diet. Maybe you are. Maybe you feel great already. If you are, if you do, then I'm very jealous. Congratulations. But yeah, hopefully this video has piqued your interest in the subject, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you feel like I've missed anything out. I'd actually, on this video, particularly on this video, I'd really like to start a bit of a discussion. I don't want, obviously there's probably going to be some people who will anyway. They won't have watched the whole video through and they'll throw some shade, and that's absolutely fine. I'm kind of prepared for that with this video, which is why I'm a little bit trepidatious in sort of what I'm saying, and I'm tripping over my words a little bit because I don't want to say anything stupid. But yeah, I think it's an important topic to discuss. So yeah, really keen to hear your thoughts, guys. Right, as always, I will see you tomorrow. If you haven't noticed, by the way, if you are a returning subscriber, we are in a new spot. I've moved house this weekend, which has been interesting. But yeah, hopefully you like the new setup, guys. We've got a microphone here now, which is hopefully going to improve the audio quality as well. And yeah, as always, I'll see you tomorrow.